Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel GKR Soft. In this video, we are going to discuss about OS application. Recently, we started to discuss about all AUTOSAR OS related concepts. You can follow our playlist of AUTOSAR OS to understand more about OS concepts. First, we can start with what is OS application. As you all are well aware, AUTOSAR OS must be capable of supporting a collection of operating system objects like task, ISR, alarm, counters, schedule tables, and hooks. This collection of objects is termed as an OS application. The operating system module is responsible for scheduling the available processing resource between the OS application that share the processor. If OS application are used, all tasks, ISR, counter, alarm, and schedule table must belong to an OS application. All objects which belong to the same OS application have access to each other. Here, the access means these operating system objects are allowed as parameter to API services. In OS application, there are two classes of OS application. One is trusted, another one is non-trusted. Trusted OS application means this has full access to OS and services. And trusted OS application will runs with higher privileges. So OS applications are allowed to run with monitoring or protection features disabled at runtime, and they are allowed to run in privileged mode when supported by the processor. The operating system module assumes that trusted OS applications do not cause a memory related protection fault. If such a fault occurs or happens, the system stability is likely gone and a shutdown may be the only option. That's for trusted. In trusted OS application example is a safety watchdog manager you can consider, or system diagnostic handler that may run in the trusted OS application. And another one is non-trusted OS application. So here we have a limited access to OS services and resources. So OS applications are not allowed to run with monitoring or protection features disabled at runtime. They have restricted access to memory, restricted access to operating system module APIs, and have their timing behavior enforced at runtime. So non-trusted OS application are not allowed to run in privileged mode when supported by the processor. So we can assume in a way the operating system module itself is trusted. The example for non-trusted OS application is infotainment module or a third-party software module may be deployed as non-trusted OS application. Now, when you want to configure elements in ECUC or XML file in your project, so these all are the configuration container we have to focus much. So one is OS trusted or not, and another one is OS trusted application delay timing violation call. So you have to configure as whether true or false. If your OS application is going to be trusted, then here you have to configure as a true. And you have to configure application is privileged and app use trusted function stubs and application core reference and task, counter, ISR, alarm, and application hooks. So these all are depends on your requirement. I'll show you one example. So here I have taken one example with configured OS application for 4.0, and here I have configured OS trusted as true. At the same time, application is privileged also true, and the rest of the parameters I configured as a false. But this is completely depends on how you are going to design your OS application. So here another interesting part is here we are going to map your app task and schedule table, counter, and you have to configure one more subcontainer as your hooks, whether for your OS application, whether you want to have shutdown hook or protection hook. So those all are the configuration you should have it inside OS application. So this is very important when you are going to design your OS application. So you can also check in your project how these configurations are made. Now, finally, we can discuss about the summary. So in this video, we discussed about OS application. That means it's a group of OS entities with specific access rights. And we discussed about trusted app and non-trusted app. Trusted application means it has full OS access, and non-trusted application means it has a restricted access, uses for trusted functions. I hope you got a clarity about what is OS application and what all are the configuration parameter you have to concentrate when you are going to design a OS application. Thanks for your time. If you really like it, please share it with your friends. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.